Hello and welcome to What Map, the map review show for Cities Skylines. There are tens of thousands of maps in the workshop now, and so finding the right one for your next build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review one, using our 5-star rating for aesthetics, detail and gameplay potential, awarding only the very best the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Friday's What Map. Now, which one of you fellas was it that said that I couldn't react to maps coming out on the workshop? Well, which one of you was it? Or was it just my imaginary friend? I don't know. Anyway, fact is, sometimes I can get there the very same week, and this is one of those occasions. Today's map, riding high currently on the workshop, is Crimea by Edos. Now, we did Edos back in episode 102 with their map Cernagorna. Montenegro, remember that one? Samba's Let's Play, that fella? Yep. Well, that was quite a nice map. Well, understatement, that was a very nice map. This also, look at that. Look at these thumbnails. Come on. This has a lot to offer. A few rocks and a few trees. Choice of LUT, Europa or Clarity. Spelled them both wrong in the description, but those are actually the LUTs you're looking for. Europa, Clarity. Either one of those two. I've gone with Clarity, and we're using a European theme, basically. That's all there is to say. Perfect bridge. Nice gentle slopes up to and including. Very nicely done there. And then we'll follow minor glitching in between the highways, tiny little glitching, nothing major to get worried about there really. And then we've got this, he raises up to a elevated highway there. Could go off to the horizon that way, but no, we're going to go across the bridge. Already elevated, so no need for a ramp. Nicely raised across the river, and then as we drop down the other side onto the side of a hill, nice and gentle slopes all around. Very, very happy with all of that work. So we're following a hedge-lined, hedge, they're trees, but it's a big hedge basically. Hedge-lined highway past the side of the rail there, between two bits of water. We'll look at those later. And then we reach our next intersection, which heads off to the left. We could go that way, but it's much more interesting to go this way, I promise. We'll follow this route instead, and we reach another bridge. This one's a little steeper on the ramps, not too bad. Also notice there's no traffic heading down this way, although this does actually go off to a highway connection, and it also goes off to our start square, which is right about now. We've got the wishbone intersection there. Not too much room to expand out, but it can go either way on this one, but we'll come back and have a better look at that a bit later on as well. Minor glitching there, and then we come down to this bridge, this glorious okay, there's a gap on both sides there as well, the rail also. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I did reload this map because I figured that had to be a glitch with the load, so I unsubscribed, resubscribed, and we still had a hole in the bridge. So that is a problem. Nothing that even the newest of newbies couldn't fix with just adding the road in themselves. But it was surprising. I didn't expect to find that going on with this particular map. Still, back to the beautiful, beautiful tree-lined roads again, and off into the fog. Come back out with the rail, and the rail, it's a little bit lumpy bumpy out here, out on the edge of the map, and it's a little bit too steep for my liking. But once again, this is pretty much out of sight and out of mind for most players. Now we're getting in towards the area that you'll be able to see, and everything's much flatter. Very nice little bit of bridge work there, across the long, it's a causeway type island, and then around, and oh, we've disappeared again. It's very peculiar. It does reconnect over here, or it should reconnect over here. So yeah, don't know what happened there, but we're missing some railway. Then it's slightly steep, not too bad. Gets us some height because we've got shipping that comes through this bridge, which which is possibly why there's a gap there in that bridge there to let the shipping through. We'll look at that in a lot more detail later. We go past the start square with the rail, so you can get rail straight away. That's a good sign. Over this little bridge and another little bridge. They're not too bad. Yeah, okay. And then we split here. Now this goes off into the distance. A little bit of a drop there. Would like that to have been a little bit smoother. But yeah, that goes off to the fog. There's not really much to see down that way. It's pretty much flat land and a few trees and some fog at the end. Fairly smooth down, just enough clearance to get the rail under there. So that's a win, yeah. And then this little bridge here, that's very nicely done as well. And then, like I say, we go pretty much level with the road and then bear off. And now we're heading towards that foggy location called the edge of the map. Right, now, you know we normally have the quirky asset on a Saturday. Well, we're going a little bit quirky today. And in fact, we're going quirky today and then we're double quirking it tomorrow. So here comes your asset review. And so what is this Friday quirky asset I speak of? Well, it's by our old friend Beardmonkey, who's done some remarkable asset work in the past, and no doubt they'll do some more remarkable asset work in the future. This one is from their deserty inspired theme. It's Camel Dromedary 01. Yep, these are props. They don't move about, they don't walk, they don't talk, they don't tell jokes, and they certainly don't get the hump when I do. Yeah, that's tumbleweed you heard. Okay, what can I tell you? It's a camel. There's a number of them in that pen, but one prop is one camel, and there'll be more tomorrow. Camel Dromedary 01 by BonBonB. Today's asset of the day, and like I say, tomorrow we're going to double quirk it up. Here's your shipping routes, pretty much everywhere you want to go. However, they do go right through this broken bridge that we've been looking at. The bridge is too low. The pillars are in the wrong place. This is the shipping coming from one direction, and then when you look at the shipping coming from the other direction, here it comes. Yes, it's obviously still too low. Might just have clipped the pillars there. So basically that's a lose, I'm afraid.
Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river, 'cause
Right, I am not going to apologise. I am not going to apologise. That is the best pun you will hear today. And if it can be beaten, then put it in the comments down below what the best pun you heard today was, because I do appreciate a good pun. And that was a good pun, guys. Come on, accept it. Anyway, this Crimean river, this is where I will put your sewage outflow, because there is plenty of water flow here, as you can see. Right there, plenty of movement here. There are other rivers you can use, but this is definitely the right one for getting rid of your gunk. Nice underwater detailing there. And oh, we have a drowned tree. One drowned tree is okay. Multiple drowned trees like this all over the river means there's a problem, and they shouldn't be there. You get your bulldozer tool out, give them a little knock on the head, cut them down. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. Right, so anyway, we have some drowned trees. We also have another feeder river around the side here, which looks really good, but there's a little problem I hadn't noticed earlier, and that is we've got some flooding. Now, that wasn't there last time I flew past here, so I don't know whether that's going to be an ongoing thing or if it's just a one-off glitch. I don't know. But it's definitely a problem, and it's definitely worth looking at. So if you take on this map, you may want to build those banks up there. Anyway, this main river does feed out into the sea, right in the fog in the edge of the map. And then we have a couple of other rivers that we can look at, and this is nice detailing, guys. This is worth waiting for. Here we are. First of all, the yin yang there, that is very nice. Both of those are water sources, very nicely done. We'll take the one on the right first. This one feeds out to the sea. So nice detailing down here. And it trickles down and around and down and out to the essential lighthouse there. So that's that one. And then on the other side we have Yan, which is here. And this one, this definitely you don't want to use for your sewage outflow. First of all, it's too pretty a river to dump your sewage into here, isn't it? First of all, yeah, agreed. And then when it gets down here, the water is kind of blocked off. It does exit. There is water movement here. There's one little breach in the dam wall there. And then if we come up here, there is another one, but all the rest of this is blocked in. So you're looking at there, that's it. So unless you're going to do some terraforming yourself, definitely you don't want to be using this for your sewage outlets. But it's very nice, very nicely terraformed. I quite like it. I definitely like those yin yang rivers, very, very pretty. So anyway, that's the river, cried out, all cried out. Here's your start square. Now there's plenty of room to start building your city here. It's a little bit tight on space when you first come off of the intersection, but other than that, room to build. And then when you've filled that area out, you come across the river and you've got stage 2, which is here. Lots of build space here. And then when you finish building there, you come across the big river here and you've got a huge build plane there. Loads of room to build. So frankly, loads of build potential. Then, if you wanted to come up into the mountains, if you can call these mountains, there's plenty of room to get into the foothills and almost right up to the peaks. It's very nicely done. Very nicely worked mountains, and I absolutely applaud them. Now, you may have noticed this little fisheye road type thing going on here. Yes, it's a highway ramp, but so you'll just want to upgrade that to something a bit different. But it leads down to this castle. I buy into this castle. In fact, the mythology I've come up with for this this map in my own head, I buy into completely. It's a lovely castle. A little bit of glitchy water going on there, but not much you can do about glitchy water. That's a map maker. Follow the road down, and you reach this little castle, which is looking out to sea. This is defending against some kind of like ship incursion, but I buy into this castle also. Makes a lot of sense, looks real enough, and it looks out to sea. So when the ships are coming in, you'd be defending this area here back in medieval times. Now, if they attack from behind, which is unlikely because I think the threat is coming from over the waters, we've got this watchtower, and you're being defended also by that river also there. So that's all good. And now let's come down the other side and go around the headland and have a look what's hiding around here, because there is more, so much more. Over here we have another castle. Now what's this defending against? Let's have a look out. What can we see from here? That island there looks a prime suspect for something. I don't know what. A few drowned trees. Oh dear. Yeah, I've seen a few of them on this map. Not mentioned them, but I've seen them. And then we got this final castle and the essential lighthouse, which is impossible to get into, I think. A little bit too high, those that footpath. It's a shame. It's a shame. But also, I think there it's not going to save many ships. It should maybe be on the end of that headland there. That's my gut instinct. Oh, where we should have had that lighthouse. So anyway, that's all that. Now let's have a look at this. Oh yeah, this island over here. This looks very suspicious. This looks like the threat. And if we come down here, we've got there's a castle there. There's a watchtower. A little bit of medieval stonework. At the top here, we've got a castle and more medieval stonework. And what's that in the volcano? What on earth is that? It's the very rare, hardly ever seen, almost extinct volcano bear. Yeah, you don't see many of them these days, do you? Anyway, So I'm suspecting there was maybe thousands of bears living on this island, and maybe they would like rampage across and try and take on our friends on the mainland. Anyway, we see more there. And now what's this over here? This is lovely. And this is more medieval stonework, in fact more prehistoric stonework. Look at this. That's very nice indeed. Very, and out in the fog as well. Most players are not going to see that. That is lovely. So, aesthetically speaking, do you know what? I'd love to give this 5. It just falls short of a 5 for me. Just short. It's a big 4 3/4. Detailing, well, I'd love to give this a 4. I really would, but that bridge, I can't get above a 3. Sorry. Shot in the foot. Gameplay potential, I'd love to give it a 5 again. Just falls short because you're going to have to fix the bridge and put things right. Otherwise, definitely a 5 there. And do you know what? I'm so on the edge of wanting to say it gets my BonBonB seal of approval. But how can I give seal of approval to a map that has a bridge that is incomplete? Well, join me tomorrow for the upcoming asset review, as somebody messages me in the background. I apologise for that, and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.